now, so to start off this brow tutorial, you're gonna need about 4 to 5 products. 4 to 5 products depending on how your eyebrows looking. Okay, so let me give y'all the rundown of the rundown. So to start off, you might need an eyebrow archer if you're a little bushy tail caterpillar like me, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not finna do that today. I'm just not feeling it. Just no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. You are going to need a brow pencil. My brow pencil of choice, my absolute favorite. I don't think I'm gonna be switching up from her anytime soon, this girl. I'm sorry. It's gonna be the Refine brow pencil. Yeah, she busted and disgusted because we use her every day. I don't know what the cap said. I don't. Next, you are going to need a brow pen. This is a liquid type of brow product. My 2 favorites are going to be the Milani Weekend Brow Eyebrow Tint. Looks like that. She's also busting disgusted, covered in concealer and shit, because girl, yeah, she worked. We put that hoe in action around here. And also the JUVIA'S Place Eye Sculpt Eye Shape Brow Pen. Like I said, these are liquid brow products. Should I give y'all like that? Kind of like a liquid liner for your eyebrows. Both of these have a nice brush tip. And y'all know if you are familiar with my channel, I'm really big on brush tips when it comes to liner. I recently just switched back to being more comfortable with eyeliners with felt tips, but that's a discussion for another day. If you have unruly brows, this is optional for a more fluffier look, but it's not. I go a lot of days without this just because sometimes I just forget. I like the NYX Brow Glue Brow Gel. This is what she looks like. This is what she's given. It's just my favorite. It's my brow gel of choice at this moment. And it's cheap. I think it's like $6 at Target. So, and then to clean them up, I like to use foundation. So I love the Maybelline Fit Me foundation to carve out my eyebrows because I don't like the harshness that concealer can sometimes have on the brow. So now that you got all your tools necessary, oh, one more thing, I will show y'all, because I know some of my girls like a lifted brow have a light colored concealer on standby, and I will show you how to achieve that lifted effect underneath without having that halo-y casty look around the brows, without the brows looking like just hard, because I don't like that. Like, nobody wants to have no freaking ring around their eyebrows, and I just feel like concealer gives that ring around effect, because it takes a lot to blend out. Concealer is a lot harder to blend out than the Maybelline foundation, so that's why I just love this. It's super liquidy. It's just, and it's like $5. So yeah, girl. I know I said like 4 or 5 things, but I forgot you're gonna need a brush to carve them out. I like to use synthetic brushes. That way I can pinch them and get them super flat. This one's just from Morphe. It doesn't have a name on it, but you just take a makeup wipe, and I like to press it out as flat as I can get it. And this is what we're gonna use to carve the brows out. Okay, so now that we got all of our tools, I'm gonna bring y'all in super close. Uncomfortable close, bitch. You see everything on my motherfucking face. Okay, so as you can see, I got a little razor happy. That's why I ain't messing with that razor today. I took too much of my bottom of my brow off right here. Back in the day, I used to shave the tails all the way off. I don't do that anymore. I really just focus on like shaping them up really cute, especially when I'm like in between waxes and stuff. Yeah, I don't wax my brows that often. I just try to just maintain the shape. Yeah, I laminated them about 7 months ago, so they really don't move either. They're pretty much just straight like this. Yeah, I go for a more natural thin brow these days. Okay, so as you can see, I just brush them up into like the area I want each hair to be in. If you have unruly brows, I would recommend starting off by brushing them into place with this brow gel, the NYX Brow Glue. This is what I would recommend, you know, to go ahead and set them in place. My hairs aren't unruly, so I'm not going to lock them down until the end of, you know, filling them in. So I'm going to start off with my Milani Weekend Brow liquid pen. This is the brown pen that I was just previously mentioning to you guys. You can use this one, or like I said, I also recommend the Juvia's Place one. And I'm just going to come in and start to form out my shape. As you can see, my hair, I shaved off right here. I wasn't supposed to. So really about right here is where I want the baseline of my eyebrow to be. So I'm going to come, I don't bring it all the way to the front because it will look kind of harsh. I come about to right here and I start to map out the bottom portion of my brow. It looks long, that's okay. I'm going to chop it off in the end, but I like to just keep my hand in a continuous motion because I've noticed, you know, once you try to hurry up and bluntly stop, I just let my hand kind of fall off of my face. That way I don't get like a harshness, which makes it harder to clean up later on, okay? Like I said, I'm not arching my brows, so I'm going to push my hair down just so I can see my shape a little bit better. To go ahead and outline out the top. So we're going to come slightly above, so about to right here on top. Slightly above the line from the bottom. And start to shape the top of the brow. And that's pretty much the shape. That's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I take the back of my hand and I do one of these numbers just to kind of soften it up even more. It looks like that. You should have something like that, a nice guide of the dream brow that you desire. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to be able to see, like you can see like my shape. See that? So now I'm going in with my brow pencil. Take my hair back up into place. And I'm just going to continuously brush this out just to soften it up, especially more so in the front. The back, I don't really care because I don't have anything back. Yeah, so I'm going to take my pencil now. And I'm just going to come in and define these areas that have nothing, just to give me shadow behind the brow. And I'm going to come in, do little feather-like motions throughout the front here. And notice I'm coming a little bit down further to the line that I created. So I have like this nice ombre effect in the front. And I kind of, you can see this is like right against my skin. That way the tip of the pencil is actually helping to push that product in. And looks super soft, okay? Like that. So you should have something like this now, softly filled in, you know, still giving, this could very much be like my real eyebrow. So now to really define out and really make this an eyebrow and not just a shaded in division bar, I'm going to take that same brow pen and we are going to come throughout wherever I'm sparse at. So for me, it's primarily like the tail of my brow. And just create these little faux hair strokes all throughout. Nothing crazy, you know, just dancing through there. And I like to put a couple in the front up here where I recently chopped my brow off. And if they look kind of harsh, like if they look too thick, just take your finger and place it on it just like I just did. And that'll take away some of the bluntness. See it on my finger? That'll take away some of like the heaviness of the liquid pen. And it looks like this. So we're gonna go in now to clean them up. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the color 356. Grab that brush that we just flattened out with that makeup wipe. Whatever's in the cap, that's all you need. And honestly, it'll still be too much. So that's why I really love and I really recommend using the Maybelline Fit Me to carve it out. Because, girl, do you see how much this is? This is going to last you forever. Forever. I don't put it on my face. I really just use it for my brows. I haven't used Maybelline on my face in a super long time. But you can use it on your face. But I just don't. I just like how this just blends with all my other products so well. And eyeshadow bases as well. So I take the tip of the brush here. And I kind of do this at an angle where I'm looking down. And I start to create that line. Nice. And to get it as straight as possible, you kind of want to move your brush in like a pendulum motion. Like, as you can see, I was going like back and forth like this. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to talk while I do that. So I should have did this as a voiceover, but I wanted it to be real and raw. Okay. So kind of back and forth in these pendulum-like motions. And I'm going to stop about right there where we get to that arch, okay? And I'm going to come back to it momentarily. You can... Normally, I just fill it all the way straight down. But for this video, because I know a lot of the girls like a lifted brow appearance, we're going to go in with concealer to give me that lifted effect underneath the brow. Notice I took the foundation pretty much all over the front half. That way, it blends into my face better. And you don't just have like this whole chunk of eyebrow that's just... bam, bitch, you know? So we're going to go ahead and continue with the concealer. Not the concealer, I'm sorry. Continue with the foundation. And we're going to move on to the top of the brow. And then we're going to come back and do the concealer on the remaining bottom half of my eyebrow. So, same thing. I like to just dollop this on the forehead part up here. Just so I have a nice little smooth palette area to grab product from. I'm trying to stay in frame. Looking down at that angle. Looking at y'all. It's a lot. I try to bring it over. Not necessarily so I can connect them. Just so I can start building that straight line. Because it's harder to start exactly right here with a straight line than it is further over. Got it? So... and you really just want to use the edge of the brush as your guide. That's not sped up or anything. Like, that's just the edge of this brush is already straight, which is why I recommend pinching it with that makeup wipe, and boom, look how easy that was. See that? Just nice little natural brow. And look like that. So, I'm going to pinch it one more time, get it super flat again, and also remove any excess foundation off. I'm going to grab my concealer of choice. This is just the JUVIA'S concealer number 13. This is the concealer that I would use for my base highlight, not my under eye. Y'all know I go super bright my under eye. So, this is just my highlighting concealer. The concealer that, you know, I would place on my forehead, nose, chin, you know, that concealer, because you are highlighting the arch of your brow. That's what this does. And you only need a tiny little bit. You see how much is on there? That's it. That's all you need, babe. You don't need a whole lot now. Don't get crazy. So you want to take it and blend it from the start of your arch. Notice I placed it directly on top of that foundation. And you just want to bring it on down. Bring it on down. I want to keep mine a little bit straighter so that I can get some of that excess tail off while I drew too long. just want to pat that into place. Boom, bitch. Any areas that you mess up, you can just go in and hit with your brow pen. I didn't mess up today. Guess God was on my side. And now I just go on with my NYX brow glue and spike these up a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. And boom. I like to kind of like make these look a little crooked. Just a little bit. Not necessarily crooked, but like going that way. You see how that just looks like more, I don't know, like fresh up out of bed type of vibe. And you just blend this out. And now you would go on with your eyeshadow primer and your eyeshadows. Yeah. Alright guys, so now we're just going to, I already filled this one in off camera. So I like to clean it up the same way. In that pendulum motion. And kind of just line it up with the other brow. Like that. And alright y'all, so this is what the brows look like all finished out. I don't know why I'm arching my brow so hard right there. But this is what it looks like with the concealer underneath. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. Love ya. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on all my social platforms. Love ya.